Hey y'all, this is Cheryl, and thanks for joining me for another Watch Cheryl Scrap video. I'm going to be scrapping about one of my favorite movies, and that is Lady and the Tramp, and I'm using a collection by Bella Gypsy at the Lily Pad, and it's part of their Magic Moments series, and it's called Bella Notte. And the template that I'm using here is a template that I created. It's from a set by the same name. I'll have the links in the description box below, but they're made to obviously coordinate with the collection, and yeah. So here I've grabbed like a vintage poster from, I think it's from actually the UK, but I really liked the graphics on it and the little bits of songs from the movie that are in the little speech bubbles. And then, of course, a screenshot of the most romantic part of the movie, right? So I'm starting out here. I've went ahead and added my foliage in. I think that was the first thing that I brought in besides the photos. And I then will just start building. I do add this secondary little banner down at the bottom. It wasn't part of the template, but I wanted to pull it in there because it's like a favorite movie. So the story behind this, and that's what I'll journal about off camera, is that this is the first movie that I saw in a movie theater, and my dad took me and my sister, and afterwards we went to Wendy's, and I remember that vividly because that was when the Wendy's decor still had the like newsprint on their tables, and they also had the beads that hung down, the colored beads, which I think is why I still love chandeliers to this day, but that's beside the point. Anyway, so first movie I ever saw. Then, of course, my sister comes along, our half sister, and she watches this movie incessantly on VHS because by that point in time, VHS had actually come into existence. And so I watched it like a zillion times with her. So you can see while I'm talking about what I'm going to journal about that I am playing with the papers. The very background paper won't ever change, even though I do some, try to change some things out. But this is pretty much the end product of background papers, except for the little strip of paper. I end up changing that. So back to the story. So not only did I watch this with my sister, but my first boyfriend I ever had came over on I think it was a Sunday afternoon, and Jessica was actually watching this, so we watched it with her, and it was alternately, for a 17-year-old, embarrassing and sweet at the same time that this particular scene came on, because it is one of the most romantic Disney movies there is. So super cute. So that's where all my memories from this come from, and I sure would love to have some pictures of me and my sister watching this together. I dearly love to have photos of me and my sister and my dad at our first movie, but of course back then in the 70s it was just not a thing to take pictures like we do nowadays with our cell phones, where you take a picture of everything that you go and do. So, but I do have the memory nonetheless, so I'm recording it, so it's here for me to remember maybe when I get too old, or if my family want to read about it, there it is. So this template has the two dog noses and the spaghetti running between them. It goes across the page, which I think is adorable. And I do end up, I think probably in the next couple of minutes here, adding a texture. There I go, adding that different paper in, and I'm just changing the rotation so it shows what I want. Still trying to decide if I want a plaid paper up there, and I'm still going to go with that purple paper with the wreaths on it. Then I'm just doing some minor adjustments, I think, to where I want the photo, moving some things around there. Here I'm adding the texture, and I'm just using a style from Mommy-ish that's also at the Lily Pad. It's in one of her packs, and so it just adds a little bit of texture. And then I just add a deeper drop shadow onto the little template element. And I thought about rotating this piece of word art, but I decided to just leave it straight on. And now I'm just messing with which photos above, below, the location of them. Moved around that top photo just a tad more because the piece of word art that I used was a bigger square than the one that was on the template. So I just moved that over a little bit and end up tucking that star under just a little bit more under that cluster. And then you see the final layout. I hope you enjoyed watching and you're inspired to create a layout about your own favorite movie. I'll see you next time. Bye.